Okay, for the paper grayscale mode, right, it's the same thing. So I pick three values, 1, 2, 3. 0 will always be my 1. Oh, sorry, 0 will always be my white. Okay, if you look at paper 1, let me just switch off. I will always start with tone 1, and then the mid tone, followed by darkest, and then paper highlight. So how do I get this is through brushing. Okay, how do I get paper 2? Let me just open up, show you. Oops. So I start with my light tone first. Okay, the reference has already been given inside the PowerPoint itself, which is here. You can always take note again. Then I will build up with my mid-tone, and then followed by darkest to get that folded effect. Okay, let me just touch up something here so that you can see better. Okay, delete. Yep. Okay, let me just clean up this portion so that it's much cleaner. Alright, so the last portion will be my highlight. Okay, if the highlight is too much, you can always reduce. Okay, let's work with paper 3 next. Let me just show you. The same thing again. We put the light tone, mid tone, and followed by the darkest, and then highlight. Okay, let me open up paper 4. Paper 4 and 5. Okay, let me just open both so that you can see. Okay, let me switch off. Paper 5. Switch off. Okay, open up with the lighter tone. Start to build up. Alright, you can always use the eraser tool at this portion. Then you build with your mid tone. Okay, if you need darker, by all means, try. And then I put the darkest value, followed by the highlights. Okay, try to get as close. Yeah, you don't have to get accurate rendering, but as close as possible will do. Okay, it's just to communicate the form. It's not about rendering it accurately, making it look realistic. Okay, so try that. The next one, what we are going to do, okay, so once you know how to do the surface, now we need to do the form. Okay, there's a few versions that we can do, but before we even start, let's take out our pen tool and then start to draw out the shape first. Always a key thing in, let's say for example, Photoshop or Illustrator, when you start to work with forms and then drawing out, keep the line work or keep the, I would say, anchor point to the bare minimum. Okay, meaning you don't have to put so much dots everywhere. Just put it in strategic places where it helps you to get the form. Okay, you can always do a quick touch up here and there. Okay, once done, let's go to the next page here. Oops. Okay. Don't worry about making mistake at this moment. Try to get with very little anchor points, as I mentioned. Okay, So again, once that's done, I go to my direct selection mode. This portion here, I will adjust it. Okay, it will take some time for me to adjust every single thing. Okay, so just bear with me for a while. Okay, it is just about right. Okay, so try that. Draw for every single thing. I'm going to pause the video for a while. Let me finish up and then we will come again. Okay, welcome back. Let me just switch off every single thing. Okay, so these are the pen tool that was drawn just now. All right, let me just call it organic shapes. Okay, as I mentioned, there's few ways that you can actually render this piece out. Okay, so let's say for example we pick one, we do a direct selection, we go back to the layers. Okay, we can always start using, let's say for example, let me just get a brush thing out. Okay, since we are working with colors, okay, I'm a big fan. Let me just take this color. Okay, yep, about there. Okay, what we can do, we can start to paint. Okay, it's slightly harder this method because why? You need to work with several different brush. Let me get out the tone first. Yeah, okay, let's say for example this is about what, 90. Let's drop about 2, which is about 60. Okay, 60 is still 2. Let's try 50. Yep, and then let's try a 30. 30, there's not much difference, so let's try 20. Let's try 98 here. Yep, you can use a palette again to work with. Okay, so similar to what I shared just now, you can always, let's say we select again, do as a selection. So let's say for example this is too strong, just take a brush mode again. Let's work with a multiply. Make sure the brush is in very soft mode. Start to paint it. Okay, here you can work very fast. Let's say for example right now you have something like this. Okay, for this exercise you need to visualize a bit. This one will need your imagination of how the form will actually conform and looks like. Alright, let's just take another one more. Let's just take here the last one, multiply, so we can get something really dark here to show. Okay, okay, we can start building up the shape from there, and always ending up with the highlight. Okay, let's say for example the highlight is too right here. Okay, let's say for example I want to highlight here, I want to highlight here, and I want to highlight here. Okay, let's say for example you can't get it very soft. Do not worry, that's why you can always do a Gaussian blur. Okay, a quick Gaussian blur. Change it to screen mode. Yep. About there. Then we can do a quick erase to where we do not want. Oops, it's too harsh. Let's just drop it a bit. Okay. This is only like one method that you can try. Yeah. Okay, let's just drop this, delete this. Okay, let's delete that. Okay, also, let's go to the path. Right now, what I need you to do is to select all your path, load it. Inside here, let's call it forms with layer style. I will share more what is layer style. Oops, typo. Okay, so what I need you to do next is to select the mid-tone. This one doesn't work with a lighter tone that well. Okay, so once we have this, what we can do next, right? Double click so that we have the layer style here out, and then switch on bevel and emboss. Under bevel and emboss, it will show you how it looks like if it's were to be embossed or bevel. Right, let's increase the size. You can see right now the darker value is here. We need it to be higher up, right? So we can change the value to the top left hand side. Okay, we can always change the value for the so-called shadow mode to be slightly bluish rather than black. Okay, the same goes for here. So right now we have something more of this. Okay, we can have it really a strong sort of depth, really hard, hard bevel. Okay, and then we can always increase the size again. Then we can soften the edges slightly. Okay, do not go chisel hard or chisel soft. We still want the smoothness of it. Okay, do not worry if it's really look demi-wet, because why? Remember, there's always the savior, which is the Gaussian blur, right? Okay, so once we have this, which is about there, what we can do next, right? Because right now, let's just copy paste first. Because right now it's too hard. We need something softer. You go to your blur, Gaussian blur. Remember the Quay Lapins exercise thing, which I say it can help to save. The same goes here. You can help. You can get something much more softer with a Gaussian blur effect. Okay. So the next one here, what we can do. Okay, let me just see what we can do next. Okay, let's work on the highlights. Oops. Okay. So right now Photoshop has already tell you where the highlight's supposed to be. You don't really have to change the opacity at the current moment. Okay, what we want is a softer transition of form. So you can still throw in the lights for the moment. Okay. Okay, bear with me for a while. Let me just color this thing up.